Be my friend? Godfather?
Good. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this justice as a gift on my daughter's wedding day.
Ooh, what's going on, my fellow deplorables? It's your boy Kevin. Welcome back to the channel. The mainstream liberal woke media is telling us that Fox News fired Tucker because of the huge settlement between Fox News and Dominion Voting. They settled for almost $800 million, a massive figure. But that is not true. That is not why Fox fired Tucker. They fired Tucker Carlson because they have made the decision. The board of directors and Rupert Murdoch have made the decision to go woke. They have made the decision to bend the knee to the liberal woke agenda pushers. And we have evidence, we have proof of this, and we're going to be breaking it down in today's video. All right, this is the broadcast. This is the broadcast that started the movement to get Tucker fired. Let's take a look.
So we want to go to another story that's been brewing tonight. So for weeks, as you know, the January 6th committee has been holding hearings. They've been widely covered on the other channels. We haven't seen the news value in them. But there is a bit of news to emerge from that story, and we want to get to it now. So the New York Times has written hundreds and hundreds of articles about January 6th since it happened, describing it as a riot, an insurrection. As part of its coverage last summer, the Times published a video documentary in which the Times reported that one man was actually caught on camera planning an insurrection, encouraging a breach of the Capitol complex. That man's name is Ray Epps. Now, the New York Times noted that Epps was videotaped on both January 5th and January 6th, urging protesters to storm the Capitol. Here it is.
We need to go in to the Capitol. Let's go! I'm going to put it out there. I'm probably going to go to jail for it, okay?
If you farted within a mile of the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, you were charged with crimes. But for some reason, this individual, Ray Epps was given a get-out-of-jail-free card. He was allowed to say and do whatever he wanted to do. He was urging protesters to go inside, but no charges were filed. Now, Tucker Carlson got the J6 videotapes from the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. He went through them and he covered them. I thought he did a really good job. It is actual footage of Ray Epps saying these things. He's not making this stuff up. Ray Epps actually said those things. But for some reason, this is unacceptable. For some reason, you're not allowed to cover this story. And this is what started the ousting of Tucker Carlson. The next day, on the floor of the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, says this.
Last night, millions of Americans tuned in to one of the most shameful hours we have ever seen on cable television. With contempt for the facts, disregard of the risks, and knowing full well he was lying to his audience, Fox News host Tucker Carlson ran a lengthy segment last night arguing the January 6th Capitol attack was not a violent insurrection. By diving deep into the waters of conspiracy and cherry-picking from thousands of hours of security footage, Mr. Carlson told the bold-faced lie that the Capitol attack, which we all saw with our own eyes, was somehow not an attack at all. He tried to argue it was nothing more than a peaceful sightseeing tour.
Well, the footage shows that Ray Epps was urging protesters to go into the Capitol. The footage shows that there were Capitol police walking around the interior of the U.S. Capitol with Jacob Chansley. The footage doesn't lie. The footage does not lie. A picture tells 1,000 words, and Chuck Schumer is full of words. He's basically telling Rupert Murdoch, how dare you air this without my permission? How dare you let Tucker Carlson ask the question, why was Ray Epps not charged? That was the beginning of the downfall. The beginning of the downfall. But in the past, Fox News has stood up for its anchors. There's always been leftist, woke, mainstream media going after conservative anchors. And Fox News and Rupert Murdoch had a history of standing up to him and saying, we don't care. This is our network, and you are not going to influence our network.
I got your back.
Well, we have AOC trying to influence what Fox News and who Fox News puts on the air. This came out just a couple of days ago. A sit-down interview with former press secretary Jen Psaki.
To federal law, federal regulation in terms of what's allowed on air and what isn't. And when you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence. Very clearly incitement of violence. And that is the line that I think we have to be willing to contend with.
Two prominent voices in the leftist, socialist, woke movement, Chuck Schumer, AOC, coming out within 2 weeks of each other, attacking Tucker. They smelt blood in the water. They smelt blood in the water.
You're blood in the water.
They were telling Rupert Murdoch, you better fall in line with the globalist Marxist movement or else. For some reason, if you were within eyesight of the U.S. Capitol on J6, you got charged with crimes. But this individual, Ray Epps, he was there urging protesters to go, and we see it on footage. It's on film. We're not making this up. It's not a fabrication. It is not a conspiracy theory. But you're not allowed to talk about it, according to AOC, according to Chuck Schumer.
That's weird. That's weird.
And a couple nights ago, Ray Epps comes out of hiding and goes on to 60 Minutes for an interview. While most of the individuals who protested on J6 are in prison or facing really harsh criminal charges, Ray Epps is doing interviews on 60 Minutes accusing Tucker of ruining his life.
With me. He's going to any means possible to destroy my life and our lives.
Why?
To shift blame on somebody else. If you look at it, Fox News, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ted Cruz, Gates, they're all telling us before this thing that it was stolen. So you tell me.
That is actually not true. We just want this covered fairly. We want to know why everyone else who was there got charged with crimes. Everyone else who did what you did, said what you did, was charged with crimes and is doing time. And this is why they fired Tucker. They were going to use the 2020 election, J6, as their opportunity to move on from Donald Trump. They sucked the blood from the MAGA movement. They thought they got everything that they could possibly gain from it. There was nothing more to get. The upside was gone. The money that they could make off of the MAGA movement, the Trump movement, and the Trump voters was gone. So it was time to move on. It was time to go back a little bit left of center or smack dab in the middle and become the uniparty again. The neoconservative uniparty that's okay with sending trillions of dollars overseas to border conflicts. It was time to back the uniparty once again. And that was not okay with Tucker. He was not going to be told what to air, what he could air, and what he couldn't air on his own program.
Just say no.
Just say no.
So Fox News goes to Tucker and says, we cannot air this kind of content anymore. Tucker says nope, and Fox News says, you're gone. Look at the board of directors for Fox News, and look who sits on it. We have Rupert Murdoch, has already came out several times saying that he will not support Donald Trump, and he will not give him the coverage, the type of coverage that a candidate deserves. Then we have his son. We have William A. Burke. William A. Burke. Wonder who William A. Burke has worked for in the past. Oh, you worked for George W. Bush. What a coincidence. These individuals are neocons. They are neoconservative globalists. And the worst of them all, Paul Ryan. We know that Trump and Paul Ryan have had a long-standing feud, and that feud continues to rage. Fox News thought that the J6 incident was going to be the end of Trump. They then thought that the indictment of Trump was going to be game over, no chance he could win the Republican primary. They want to move on from Trump so badly. They needed the anchors to fall in line to do so. And Tucker Carlson, being a dude he's gonna write his own story, and he's not going to take orders from some old neoconservative globalist was told, you have to stop airing this type of content. And he said, nope, I'm not doing so. And then the board met on Friday, said he's out. Rupert Murdoch agreed, and game over. Tucker is gone. The media telling us that this is due in part to the Dominion settlement is full of it. It's just not true. Why would they fire Tucker? They've already paid the money. Why would they fire their main anchor who is bringing in twice as many viewers as the second best anchor? It just doesn't make sense. They wouldn't. This is deeper. This is bigger than the Dominion settlement. Fox News nets over $1 billion a year. Okay? So they lost 70% of 1 year's net income. They're still a very profitable news network. They're making tons of money. But as they go woke and as they get rid of all the populist America First anchors, that money will go down. I will no longer be watching Fox News. Let me know in the comments. Will you continue to watch Fox News? I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until next time, peace.